Warning.
You are now tuned in to 7 Mile Radio. 7 Mile Radio.
What up, what up, what up, Detroit? We are back with another hot episode of Equally Not. Before we even get started, I want to give a shout out to 7 Mile Radio for giving us this power hour to give y'all the hottest talk in the nighttime. I am DL Collins along with my co-host D-Mac.
That's the deal.
You know what, y'all? We got a hot topic tonight. We are talking about being friends after lovers. Can you be friends after you've been in a relationship with somebody? How's that working? How's that working for you? For you, Matt, can you be friends?
Lord. I thought it was
I'm always
introduction.
I'm always jumping to you first. Nah.
No. Well, I would say it depends. It depends on the reason of the demise.
Okay.
So if we were just, frolicking in the hay, just fucking, you know what I mean? And we just realized, like, I'm gonna go ahead and do this, you're gonna go ahead and do that. It's I think it would be an easier transition to go from that to friendship than like loving someone or being in love with them and then having to find a box to put your emotions in order to appropriately deal as a friend and not a friend with benefits. Because if you just try to be friends with someone you in love with, right?
Yeah.
Y'all gonna cross the line. Shit gonna pop at some point, and then those lines are blurred. It's no longer just a friendship, right?
Right.
In my opinion. But then also, if there is a level of conflict and contention and trauma and drama that led to the demise, and it's best that you remove yourself entirely from the situation, then I think it would be most appropriate not to be friends in that situation because it's already toxic.
Okay.
Depends on the level of the violation.
Yeah.
What up, though? From Vegas, Red Zone Vegas, Paris, how are you? She said, hell nah. If shit wasn't right, nope, and it doesn't depend.
It don't depend. You just straight up and down, X, no nothing.
No X. Okay. Well, for me.
DL, I would. Hi, Lane. Let's acknowledge your presence before we get to talking. You are more like, people come into your life for a reason, for a purpose. Yes. And the purpose may not have been the relationship aspect, and maybe we'll better and purposeful as friends. And then that can just blossom into whatever it's going to be as a beautiful, wonderful, platonic friendship, right?
See, you got.
I wanted to say it. I didn't want her to say it, Elaine. I want you to call and cuss me out, not her. Okay.
But that is true. I'm friends with a few of my exes, and we were in love, But any relationship that I go into it as friends. So if you can't get a friendship out of a relationship, then it's not really a relationship, right? For me,
it should be a friendship first, though,
right? So when you dissolve the romantic part of the relationship, you may need some time to get over it.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? But you should always be able to come back and be just friends and just be platonic friends. Because, that's where you start to set boundaries.
Okay.
If you're in a relationship, you set boundaries because there can be an instance where, one person is still feeling the other person, right? And in those cases, you just have to be conscious about it. For me, I don't see a cause where you should have to not be friends with somebody because y'all didn't work out romantically.
Girl, she tried to run you over with her car. Would you still try to be her friend?
Know what? I'm super forgiving. I'm like super forgiving. I've had things done to me worse, right?
Worse than that?
Yeah.
Oh, see, no.
Right. So I'm
better
just.
than me.
Yeah. You know what? I said it. I said it. My
operate in the realm of
sister.
forgiveness.
Yeah.
I operate in the realm of cutting the fuck off.
Yeah. So it's okay to forgive and move on. If I see somebody, how you know that you've truly forgiven is if you're able to be in the same room with a person and not have any ill will or no type of feeling. I don't have to be your friend,
Right.
but I forgive you and I can speak to you. We can be in the same room.
So it's cordiality after
Yeah,
being loved.
right.
It's not necessarily
Well,
friendship.
right.
I can be cordial. I can be in your presence. I can be in a room, and we can be adults about this.
Yeah, and
but
can
we
be-
ain't got to rub elbows.
Right,
Okay.
but you can also have a friend after.
You can.
Yeah,
Depending.
And so it just depends. But I mean, I don't hold anything against anyone because humans are human.
And you're about more learning the lesson
Yeah.
of the situation than being offended by the situation.
Yeah.
I got you, because
Yeah.
I get offended.
Yeah.
Be like,
Or
"Bitch."
you be offended and you sitting up there. They done moved on with their life, and you
sitting
still
up
sitting up
there
there talking some
with
that
the- with the
stupid ass
sour
bitch.
face.
Yeah, yeah. That bitch trying to run
I'm-
me the
I'm
fuck
moving on
over.
too,
I
though.
want a motherfucking
No.
hot. She should be in motherfucking jail.
No, I move on too, though.
Somebody said, Pierre said, I tried. Wait, the last speaker said was on point. I agree. Yeah, thank you. Brandy said, I definitely agree with being friends after a relationship. Pierre said, I hate that I forgive. I definitely
I think he said need to dislike people.
need to dislike people.
I have certain people that I am still in communication with periodically as
Yeah.
friends beyond the relationship because it just ended on a mutual peaceful level.
Yeah.
But then there are those situations that it's like see, we don't never have to communicate again because
Yeah.
this shit just got to the point of no return. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And it can get like that. And I think that's okay because sometimes, people are in your life for a particular purpose. It may not necessarily be relationship. It may be friendship. It may not even be friendship. It may just be for a season.
Yeah.
You understand? And it's okay sometimes to dissolve shit because you're not meant to be in my life forever.
Right.
Perhaps you were just meant to come into my life to teach me something in that
Right.
moment or in that season.
Right, I agree.
Yeah.
Every ex don't have to be a friend.
Yeah.
But they don't have to be an enemy either.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, like I said, we can see each other, be cordial. Hey, how you doing? How you been? What's up? You know what I'm saying? It could be those things because at the end of the day, I've forgiven you for whatever it is, right? I've forgiven you. I'm over that, right? Because if I'm still holding on to that, then I'm still holding on to some type of feeling. Gotta be. Gotta be. Ain't no thoughts behind it. You gotta be.
Nigga looking at me like you gotta be. Ain't no like you see my wheels turn.
Yeah, because you know
it's some reason. Sometimes it's some reason. I'm gonna tell you the truth. Like it's some motherfuckers that I just don't ever want to cross paths with again, just because of the way they moved. And it's not because I'm holding on to it. It's just because I will never trust you again.
It is because you holding on to it.
I will never trust you. No, that's wisdom. See, the Bible says,
You don't have
kind
to.
yet wise as a serpent. I can be kind and cordial, but I can never trust you because my wisdom says not to.
Right, but that's fine. That's fine to not trust, but you haven't gotten over it, right? Because as soon as you say,
because I don't trust you, I haven't gotten over it.
yeah,
Or because wisdom tells me that you're that snake and I shouldn't trust you.
no, because you know that you can't trust the person, right? So you know how far to go with the person. So it doesn't mean that I gotta treat you anyway, or don't mean that I don't have to cross paths with you. I just know that I can't trust you, so I don't have to deal with you in that way.
I just think it's okay to dissolve some shit.
Well, it is.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, it is. But if
Yeah.
you see this person in the street, I ain't gotta be.
I mean, I can speak, but
Right.
I ain't about to be worried about how you been.
Right. Well, I mean,
I don't
mean,
really give a
well, you
fuck.
know, if they come up to you and like, hey, how you been?
I've been good. I'm gonna give a generic ass answer.
Yeah, I've been good.
No
but you
details.
hold on, but for what?
No, because
you can't trust
I
them?
don't not because I don't trust you, but I don't need to give you that level of information. All you need to know is I'm okay.
Yeah.
Because it's general.
Yeah.
If we're gonna keep
Well,
it
yeah,
general,
I mean,
it's a general
well,
question
yeah,
that
but-
merits a general answer.
Yeah, but that's still holding on and
No,
not
it's
being
not.
forgiven.
No,
It
that's
is,
treating
though.
things as they should be treated.
No,
in the
it's
moment.
not
Yes,
giving.
it is.
It's not being forgiven. Because when you forgive somebody,
if I forgive you, that means that I don't get to adjust how I function with you.
no, when you forgive somebody, then that means you've let go.
I've let
Right.
go, but
And
yet
so
I
it
still
should-
operate from a place of wisdom, which means how I operated with you before is going to adjust.
Right,
How
I agree.
operate with
But
you
so what
now.
I'm saying
but that
is
doesn't
because
mean
you're-
I'm holding on. That just means I've learned something from the experience, and I learned to deal with you differently, and that's okay.
Right, and that is okay. However, if you're saying, yeah, well, I'm gonna give you a generic answer. You don't need to know how I'm doing.
I'm not gonna say you don't need to know how I'm doing.
Okay.
I'm just gonna give you a generic answer.
Well, because you said
I've been great.
Well, right. Well, you said because you don't need to know how I'm doing.
That
Right,
would
so
be
for
that would
me-
be my thought process to myself.
Right, and so
There's-
for
there's
me-
no reason for you to know all that.
Right, and so
'Cause
for
we're
me,
not
that's
on that
you
level.
holding on.
No, that's
That's
because
you
we're not
holding on.
that level.
That's you saying, I still remember. I still remember.
I have
that
to
you-
remember. Experience teaches. If I don't learn
Yeah.
the lesson and I don't remember the lesson, then I'm going to be a fool and repeat the
But
same
you won't.
mistakes.
That's not
I
the
have to. No, I have to remember to learn the lesson.
Well,
I have to remember to
okay,
keep it.
So
in
remember we
context.
talked about. Remember last week we talked about forgiveness and how if you don't forgive in its totality and its whole, that holds on to you.
It's forgiveness and forgetting the separate same thing.
No, it's
It's not. And that's the distinction. It's a fine line, though. It's a fine line. I can forgive you, but I cannot forget.
But you still
But I
have to
don't
move
hold
in
you
forgiveness.
hostage
You
to
still
my
have
memory.
to move in forgiveness.
Yeah.
Even if you don't forget, you're still moving in forgiveness
me-
for yourself.
Forgiveness is me saying, "Hey, how you doing?" Or me saying, "I'm doing great."
I mean, I agree.
and no further
I agree.
conversation is merited at that point, depending upon
Right,
the
I
circumstances.
agree. If the I'm great is meant, right?
I got you.
So I'm doing good, and not having no feeling behind it. After you done told this person,
Uh-huh.
I'm good. You know, and you can walk away and I had no feelings behind it. But if you can walk, if you, oh, I'm good, baby. You know what I'm saying? And you walk away like snake ass bitch.
Because she is a
You know,
snake ass
yeah,
bitch.
but so-
Reality taught you that. You
No,
know what I'm saying? Like, I
no.
deal in the realm of reality. I don't deal in
No.
the realm of opportunity or potential or possibility.
But so that's
I
why
deal in what you
people
showed
are
me.
stuck.
No,
That's why
it's
people
not.
are it is.
This is the difference. Let me
It
let me
is,
explain.
though.
This,
It
let,
is,
let me
though.
try to explain this. So let's say, you were in a relationship or I were in a relationship with somebody. Shit ended just so drastic and just so toxic, right? And you all both made the decision that it's best for you just not to be in communication at all,
Right.
And not because you hate this person or you hate this person. It's just best because it doesn't work in your best interest.
Right.
It's not healthy for you. It's not healthy for her or anybody else around you. Right.
Right.
Okay. So now you see each other at the mall. Hey, how you doing? Good. How are you? Good. Boom. End of conversation. You walk away. Boom. That's fine. It's not that it's like, okay, I know not to even engage in any further communication with you based on my experience of where we have been. That doesn't mean I'm holding on to it. That means I
Well,
learned
did you hear
the
what I
lesson.
said before?
You said you're holding on if you come
I
away
said-
with a negative
right.
attitude.
If you walk away with it and not literally just being like I'm good, you know, because
Okay.
you can tell a person I'm good.
But then
And
there
then
are
I'm
people.
good.
There are people that you just know not to go there with. You know what I'm saying? It's
Right.
like, you know what? I don't even know why you even asking me how I'm doing because I know the place you coming from ain't genuine. There's a spirit of discernment that people have, right? You can tell whether a person is coming to you genuinely or if a person is coming up to you and the person you're with just to be nosy or to be about.
But that ain't your thing.
No,
That
that
ain't-
is your. No, it
but
is your thing.
it's
You have
really
to be
not
discerning enough to know the intentions of
Right.
the person coming to
Right, but
you,
here's
so
the
you
thing.
know how to respond to that individual.
Right, and you responding to that individual as I'm good, you know, that's
Okay,
enough.
But yet you
That's-
still
but
have
that's-
to keep
but
in
that's
mind
enough.
who they are and what
it
they
ain't your
showed
business.
you.
Cause y'all ain't friends.
Okay.
Y'all ain't enemies. Y'all ain't kicking it.
And
Y'all ain't
it's
got to
best
cross
that
paths
we,
again.
and if we
So
agree that
moment
it's
I-
best that we have no contact, why are you adjusting your movements to come to where
It's
I am?
okay.
No, it's
Because
not.
people,
Stay
because
over
humans
there
are
and I'ma stay over
human,
here.
right? Humans are human, right?
Well,
so
I'm not human.
So in that moment that somebody come to you and say,
I don't relate to this motherfucker.
right? But if somebody come to you and they like, you know, with your new boo or whatever the case, and they come to you just on some ill will or ill intent, you know, you feeling that energy. you know, how you doing? And they come to you, hey, how
And
you
I'd be
doing?
like, I'm
And you
straight,
like,
and keep walking.
Yeah, and you like, you know, I'm good. You know,
And
and you
that's
can
it.
walk away, and you can walk away with no ill feelings. Then that's how you know that you're in a forgiving space.
But there's a difference between having ill
so-
feelings and recognizing who a person is and what their intentions are. There's a difference. We don't have the spirit of discernment for no reason.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Just because a person comes up to us doesn't mean we have to be receptive to it.
No, you don't.
You understand what I'm saying?
You don't have to be receptive to it. But that's because you're holding on.
No,
to
it doesn't. That's because you are now made aware of who they are. And they're a snake. And I don't invite snakes in my space, so don't come in my space.
Right. And that's fine. So in that instance, then you just move accordingly. Right, so you not so don't even say I'm good, right? So because if you saying I'm good, you're feeding.
And so what does that do? If a person
energy.
comes up to you and asks you a question, and you know they're coming with, and you sense that they're coming with ill intent, right? And you just dismiss and disregard and ignore what they're saying, then what does that do? That creates another level of contention. What you do is say I'm good and keep it moving.
Absolutely not. If I'm in a position to whereas you've done me a certain type of way and I haven't gotten over, because that's the only way that this thing is going to, that's the only way that it's going to be we're going to bump heads, or I feel like, you know, you got you know, your energy is off for you and I don't want you in my space, I'm moving around.
Right.
I'm not even giving you that opportunity.
Okay, but it's a small world. You can bump into anybody anywhere.
I'm moving around.
But you can bump into anybody anywhere.
Right, but I'm moving around. So that's just like if I'm in Foot Locker and I see somebody coming inside of Foot Locker and I see them coming towards me and
you walk away to avoid
right,
it?
I'm moving around.
Oh, I get
right?
it. I get it. I ain't about to do all that.
But right. But so why even invite the ill intent? Why even invite it?
It's not invited. It's approached. It's invited upon you.
Right.
It's brought upon you. So now you have to decide how you.
It can be prevented.
Yeah, but who the fuck want to run around Foot Locker to
you
avoid
ain't got You ain't got to run around. You just walk around. I ain't
even about to do that. I'm gonna stay where the fuck I'm at. Just stay the fuck away from me.
Right. And so that's
what's so hard about that.
Because that's where you hold. That's the whole thing about. Forgiveness. People ain't gonna understand it.
Forgiveness is not stupidity. I need people to understand that.
But you don't have to be stupid though. Because
and you don't have to be open
all the time.
You don't have to be open to everything. Though.
No, you don't. But when you forgive humans for being human, then your life is much better. You can recognize the error of their humanity and operate out of that wisdom. You remove all of the bullshit in your world, and your world moves so much better. You remove all of the bullshit out of your world because while you are in your thoughts, then all you are doing is allowing that shit in your space. So whether or not you feel like I don't want it in my space, you're inviting it in your space.
I could be minding my motherfucking business. And
I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about anybody in your space. A new motherfucker in your space. Right? You done invited this new motherfucker in your face that's just the snake, just like the snake who you don't like. Because you ain't got over it.
Because you don't know that they a snake. Until they reveal who they are.
Exactly. But you
don't know who a snake until they reveal themselves.
Right.
So it's not that you invited a new snake in your life. It's just a snake that slithered into your life anyway.
Because you invited them.
Nah.
I know you don't. I know. I know. But it's a process with forgiveness. I don't expect everybody to understand it, or I
think forgiveness is an individual thing. And what forgiveness is for you may not be forgiveness for the next individual.
Right.
Forgiveness for you could be a total obliteration of the thought process of anything ever happening.
Right.
Forgiveness to the next person was I can resolve that within myself enough to where I can function with you on a certain level.
Yeah, well, forgiveness is what it is,
It
right?
is what it is.
And
but
so forgiveness, if you
forgiven,
then it doesn't bother you. If you forgiven, it doesn't bother you. If you forgiven, then it doesn't bother you.
I don't agree.
I've had to, because
I kind of get what she's saying. Like, picture if you're gonna go into the religious aspect of it, right? God forgives us for the sins, right? He lets us into heaven and still punishes us for the sin and shit, because He didn't really completely forgive us. He said he forgive us and he's let us in heaven. But I'm still like,
But I'm not
treating you.
punishing a person for their sin necessarily. I'm acknowledging. See, this is the thing. There's a difference
I get
between.
what you're saying, but
there's
I
a difference. I get what she's
yeah.
saying, but that does not forgiveness for me does not obliterate
Right,
what
exactly.
you've done.
It don't just
What
take
it
back
does,
to normal.
it takes the weight off of me from holding you hostage to it.
There you go. I feel that.
That's what forgiveness does. It has nothing to do with me
But I don't
not.
have to allow. I don't have to put you in the same place to allow you to get me. Do that to
Right,
me
that's
again.
where the wisdom
Right.
comes in. So
Right, you
I
don't-
can still
right,
be
exactly.
cordial with
And
you,
it don't-
but I don't have to fully embrace you
Right,
as
you
if
don't.
I would have
Right.
blindly without
Right.
knowing who the fuck you are.
Right, you don't.
You know what
so
I'm
you
saying?
move. So you move accordingly.
You move accordingly.
Right, and
but
so
that's
what I say all the
wisdom, but
time.
that's not unforgiveness.
That I say that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you're forgiven, you have to remember that you move accordingly with people because humans are human.
Right.
Right. So okay, I have people in my world that I know for a fact has done A, B, and C. Would I trust that you won't do A, B, and C again? Absolutely not.
Okay.
But I forgive you for doing it.
Right.
I forgive you for doing it
And
because I'm
that's how I
supposed to.
function. Like I've
Right?
functioned with people that I felt wronged me, or people that I've wronged, right? And they've forgiven me, and I've forgiven them, and we function. You know what I'm saying? But we don't function on the same level.
Right, and you
that's just-
never
that-
would
and
again.
that doesn't mean it's still unforgiveness, or you're still holding it, or you're still holding on
Well,
to
when
it.
you're holding on to-
operating out of a place of wisdom now, based on the information and
And the
experience you
experience.
received.
Right. However, if you bringing it up every 5
Who
minutes, that
brings
you
it
talk-
up?
That's what I'm saying.
I said if a
you're-
person, if you happen to be in the same environment,
right, if you're bringing it
it's
up,
situational.
if you're bringing it up, if you're holding on to it, if every time this person's name come up, you think about it or you want to address it in a negative manner, then you haven't forgiven and you
I agree
haven't
with that.
forgotten.
I agree with
Okay, it's
What's
different when you.
Going
I agree
on,
with that.
Caller,
I agree with that.
Who is this and where you calling from? Caller, are you there?
I'm here. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we hear you now. What's going on? Who's this?
Oh,
Where
it
you
is
calling
that
from?
time.
Oh, this profoundly.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that went back quick.
Yeah,
Oh,
we,
you know
we
what?
started a little late. We started a little late. We still
Okay.
getting an hour, but we
Okay.
started a little late. What's going on, E?
What's going on, y'all? So this topic of yours.
And I didn't make the topic. So, you know, these last couple of topics, I didn't make them. I already said I feel like, you know, they are attacking me.
They trying to throw you under the bus. Throwing you under the bus the last
attacking
3
you.
shows.
Yeah, they're attacking you, all right.
Oh,
Listen. DL is the most forgiving, nice person in the world. I don't care if you stole the drawers off of her tail and left her outside. She is gonna forgive you. She is gonna be friends with exes. She's going to. I don't get it. I don't get it. Me on the other hand, I don't have a need. I don't have a want. Especially if I ain't like you then, I'm not gonna like you now. There's not gonna be it's not gonna be a common ground. I mean, if we have a child together, I could be cordial with you. I guess. But me on the other hand, I'm like, if you was a dirty birdie then, you a dirty birdie now. It's not about not forgiving you. It's just not letting your
Knowing who
energy
you
back
are.
into my energy. I'm not gonna. It's no point.
Yeah,
My
but you
wife,
know
on the
that.
other hand,
Yeah.
is so forgiving. She lets everything go and all this kind of stuff. And I be looking at people sideways like.
But here's the
girl,
thing.
no.
But here's the thing, because you live with me, you know what I'm saying? Like like you're able to see, you know, you're able to see the things that happen in my world, and it's because of, you know, I'm just open. I'm free, right? I said I'm free. I don't have to. Humans are human. I've talk to you about forgiveness and how you move with people who you feel have done you wrong or whatever the case may be, and that relationship that you have is much better, more than one relationship, correct or incorrect?
Yeah,
or am I
and
just
then, no, you're correct, and I have forgiven. And then there are some people that I have forgiven, and I still don't feel I need to be in my space or in my
Right.
world. Because
And that's okay.
Why am
Right,
I
and that's
inviting you
okay.
back to do me wrong again? Why am I
It's not
inviting you
about
back to
not
do me
letting it
wrong
go.
again?
It's just about I don't need it. It's
Right,
not
I let it
necessary
go.
for my life.
I'm just what they say, you do me wrong first time, shame on you. You do me wrong again, it's shame on me now because I gave you the opportunity to shame me again.
Right. So let's not get it twisted.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because there's no one in my life that has done me wrong that has done me wrong to an extent to the point where I can't let them back into my world. I've had people that's done me wrong that I've removed. Right. You said what?
Nothing.
Because relationships are completely different, right? Relationships are completely different. Like, you do things in relationships that you can't take back because of your romantic feelings. But that don't mean that
the relationship is a friendship, and a friendship is a relationship. It's still a relationship.
The friendships and relationships are completely different, right? So you build a friendship first before you move into anything romantic.
So you're saying there's a different level of forgiveness when it comes to friendships and when it comes to relationships?
Well, because what she's speaking of,
forgiveness is forgiveness, right?
Right, and what she's okay. So here's the thing: what
when
Elaine's
you are in a
speaking of.
relationship with me, I'm gonna hold you higher than a friendship because now we are at a different level than a friendship.
You move different. You move different. Y'all done slept together. Y'all's feelings are in it differently, so it's completely different. You can remove yourself from that romantic aspect of the relationship and still consider somebody a friend. You know, for me, she's speaking of two different people, and one person, you know, I guess I don't feel like, you know.
You never feel like it.
Yeah, I don't feel like it was a big deal for me, right? So she was pregnant. She said she was having this baby for me, whatever. Come to find out, she was dealing with somebody. She was living a double life, right? Okay, fine. So we broke up, right? And you know, in the midst before that, you know, I was doing all this for the baby coming, I'm sending stuff home, you know, because I'm in Atlanta, she here, I'm sending stuff home, I'm thinking she coming to stay there with me, whatever. So boom, so I end up finding out, you know, she in two different relationships.
And y'all still friends today?
Yes,
okay.
we are. We're still friends today, and I still do for her son, and I still see him on birthdays, and I still do for holidays, and I still do for these things, because at the end of the day, he had nothing to do with it. I still created a bond with him.
What you do for the child, I'm talking about, that's great. You
right,
and
that's my dog.
That's not
right, and that's my dog, right? Because we removed that romantic thing. We removed that. You know what I'm saying? It's gone. So now we can move as friends. You know, so
do you think every relationship that ends has the potential to result in a friendship?
Not every relationship.
Okay. So some of them just need to be resolved.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, of course. That's what I said in the beginning. That's
what I wanted you to say, because I'm like,
I said that in the beginning.
You too forgiving. Like, some shit just ain't it's
I
forgivable, but it ain't just.
Yeah,
you can forgive because forgiveness ain't for them; it's for you.
Yeah.
It's to relieve you of the burden of the anger and the weight of the stress of the situation.
Right. That's why I'm able to have.
Forgiveness doesn't take anything away from who they are.
Right.
They're still who they are.
Right.
Which means now you have to operate from a place. You have to operate from a different place.
And that's because and that's why I'm able to have different relationships. That's why every relationship that I'm in is different. It's not the same bullshit from the previous, because I've forgiven that previous situation, and I know that there's people different.
But how long do we accept, okay, we're human?
What do you mean?
No. Let me finish the question.
Go.
How long do we accept, okay, we're all human. We're all subject to error. We're all subject to make mistakes. We're all subject to offend somebody at some point in our journey in life, right?
Yes.
It's going to happen.
Yes.
We've offended God. He's forgiven us, all that jazz, right? At some point, or at what point, or at any point, do you decide that, okay, it's best for me not to have any involvement with this person? That doesn't mean I have any ill will, ill feelings. It's just wisdom to say, you know what, there needs to be zero contact, period. That doesn't mean we beefed out. That don't mean I hate you. That just means because of the circumstances and situations that surrounding whatever the demise was, it's best that we have no communication. And I think that is okay. That does not speak unforgiveness to me. That does not speak not letting things go. That speaks operating and learning from error and learning from mistakes and learning and gaining wisdom on how to proceed further.
Right,
and if you decide going forward that this is the type of energy I don't need around me under any capacity.
Right, I agree.
Okay.
What I said was, if you're holding on, if you have
what
anything negative
determines
to
if
say,
you're holding
because
on?
if you feel anything negative behind it, if you see this person and this person still make you feel some type of
right.
way, that's you're holding on.
A nigga that beat his bitch ass to the point where she in the hospital in the coma. She comes out the coma, see this nigga. She ain't supposed to have no. I mean, at some point she gonna forgive the nigga. At some point, if it's what's best for her to forgive.
Right.
But that doesn't mean that when she sees this nigga, no ill feelings are gonna pop up because there's still trauma connected to that situation.
It can be trauma connected to it, right? But
that doesn't mean there will be no negative impact or negative emotion.
And so she hasn't forgiven, and she probably won't forgive. That happens. Humans are human. Everybody's not gonna forgive.
I don't agree.
Everybody's not gonna forgive.
I don't agree with that. I can't
That's
look
the
my
bottom line.
murderer in the eye and not have or my potential murderer or attempted murderer in the eye.
But there's
and
people
say,
that do.
and don't have there are people that do.
Yes.
But that means there's levels to this forgiveness shit.
Yes.
And it's an individual thing.
Right.
So what's forgiveness to you may not be what's forgiveness to the next
or
motherfucker.
right, or people just, it's okay for people not to ever forgive. No, every
I'm not
human in the
saying
world,
that.
every
it's okay for people
but
not to fuck with a motherfucker
right,
again.
but
Is
what
what
I'm
I'm saying.
saying,
I
right.
can forgive you and never fuck with you again.
Right, that's true.
And I can see you and still remember what the fuck you did. But that don't mean I forgave
But
you.
the
That mean I
ill-
didn't forget.
No, but the
Period.
ill will, you don't have to forget.
Who has ill
you
will?
don't- If you, okay, so I'm not saying you have ill
Right,
what I'm
right.
saying is if you do.
Okay, if
right?
you do.
If you do.
That means
then,
you've not
then,
forgiven.
Then you haven't completely forgiven. We know that. For a fact, we know that if you
There's
haven't
a
let
fine
go,
line
if you
between
haven't let
forgiveness
go,
and forgiveness.
listen, if you haven't let go, then that's just it, and it's okay. A lot of people don't know how to let go. A lot of people won't let go. We are human, right? Humans are human. There are people in the world that's not going to forgive. There are people in the world who don't want to forgive. There are people in the world who's going to hold the murderer accountable for the rest of their lives. But it's people out here that genuinely feel like,
They'll
you know
actually
what?
go in there and forgive that motherfucker, hug him and love him
Yes.
and say I forgive you, and that's their level of forgiveness.
Right.
It's individual.
Okay.
It just not. I don't think that forgiveness is the same across the board for everybody. The principle of it is.
Okay.
The dynamics of it aren't.
Okay. You gonna make up the definition?
That's just my personal opinion.
Right.
That's my opinion. That's
Right.
not my definition.
Okay.
That's
So
my
that's just an opinion. Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
'Cause
But the fact
I can agree
is,
with certain things you're saying about
Yeah.
forgiveness, but certain things I can't. And for me, that's an individual thing.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Right.
So-
Because like I said, you know, everybody's not gonna let go or completely forgive. You know what I'm saying? It's just
I
human
think
nature.
some relationships benefit from just being friends because the emotional connection complicates shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so when you remove that, if you're ever able to remove that, which I don't understand how you can remove that, when you're in love with
connection with the-
somebody,
with the
and now
responsibility,
you have to,
obligation.
you know what I'm saying? Now you have to adjust your emotional thought process.
So you don't think that you could just be friends with somebody who
I
you
am
was in
friends
love
with somebody I was in love with. What I'm saying is difficult to do that.
Oh, okay.
Because now, and it can't happen like, okay, tonight we say we just gonna be friends one day, and then tomorrow we just operate like friends. That shit's a fucking joke. Because now we can't just like, okay, turn
It's
the fucking switch,
boundaries.
turn the switch off, and now all of a sudden we're not attracted
Well,
to each
I
other.
always
Now all of a
say-
sudden we don't want to
Man,
fuck.
it was fake.
Now all of a
If
sudden
you
we
could do
we
that,
not, you know what I'm
it wasn't
saying?
real.
Let's just go to
Really?
just being friends today.
If you
After
could just cut it
yesterday
off
we
like
broke
that.
up. Come on now, you
Well-
said even in the beginning
Well,
there's a
yeah,
period
there's
of
a
time
period of time that you
where you have to
probably have to,
process
you know,
that thing.
right, that you have to, you know, you can't just go from we broke up and then we still seeing each other, we still being around each
That's
other,
what I'm
we
saying.
still, you know.
That's what I'm
Even-
saying.
even-
Like you
yeah.
still have to
But-
Even
operate
the breakup
differently.
itself has a process, right? So you
Yes.
mentally preparing yourself for it. So it's
Yeah.
not just an abrupt thing, even
Right,
when it is.
but
an
at the
abrupt
same
thing.
time,
Because the
once
breakup-
the finality of it hits, right, there's still some unresolved emotion. There's still some residue of the relationship
Yes,
that has to be rinsed off of you before you can now adjust your perspective
Yeah.
in that relationship to just being a friend. And that, I mean, that's, and
Y'all be
that
making me
depends.
feel like I guess I'm just.
But see,
you're
not
just a careless
it-
motherfucker.
You're not as emotional as most people
It
are.
depends. No, it's not. Now, it's not like the same amount of time in each relationship, in each situation. Now, it's some where in a week I can be over it, whereas other ones where it took me a couple of months and shit. You know what I mean?
Well, of course.
So that's the thing about it. Like, so maybe that's the thing. Like, you kind of just.
It depends
you
on
heal
the
a little
depth
quicker.
of the relationship.
And
It
not
depends
even-
on the
not
connection,
that
the
part,
lengthiness,
right,
the
that part.
connection that you
part,
had,
that part,
how
yeah.
deep
Yeah,
it was. You
yeah,
understand
because
what I'm saying?
I, you know, in previous relationships, I've always held long-term relationships. I've
Me
never
too.
really dealt with short relationships. And so, but even with my kids' fathers, you know, like, we cool. You know what I'm saying? We cool as hell. Like, we cool. My girlfriend before Elaine, we were together for quite some time. And we still taking time to, be friends, but she can call me if she needs some type of advice or relationship advice, or and vice versa. Like, I probably wouldn't disclose my relationship advice with my ex. You understand what I'm saying? Your boundaries.
Yeah.
But I would extend advice if they need it, right?
Yeah.
Because 9 times out of 10, that's what our friendship was based on. Our friendship was based on communication and me giving them good advice, and they know that they can come to me and get some type of advice or whatever the case may be. But I just feel like, once some period of time is gone and you found your person, or you moving on, and you doing your thing, and you realize what the relationship held and what it didn't hold, then you don't want to be back with that person. Y'all broke up for a reason. So what are you?
But see, everybody
holding on
doesn't
to?
deserve your friendship.
Right,
If we were in a relationship and we weren't able to respect each other as friends, why the fuck would I want to be your friend outside of that?
Right. Well, if
You understand
you're
what I'm
not
saying?
respecting each other's friendship, then that's completely different.
That's what I'm saying. But see, that's why I said it depends.
Yeah.
Like, some
It does.
relationships can morph into friendships healthily.
Right.
And it can be the most beautiful friendship in the world.
Right.
And some of them cannot.
Right, I agree.
Depending on the circumstance. And that's what I've said from jump. I'm not totally against being friends with someone, because like I said, I have 2 people, or at least, 2.5. Because sometimes we talk
It's a
once a
half.
year. It's a half, because it's like once a year we might.
But y'all still
Yeah,
talk.
we communicate. So it's kind of like, I don't have a problem with being friends with someone I'm not in a relationship. It depends. It
Yeah.
really
And
depends
you
on
have
the
to go into
the
the friendship
context,
with no
the
intentions.
depth, the connection, the level of in love there was, and however that thing ended. It doesn't mean I don't forgive you. That just means I forgive you, and I forgive you for me, because I don't want to hold on to shit. Because I don't want to be weighted down with shit concerning
we
you
got a lot
while
of
you going on
conversations
with your
right now.
life, living it up, and I'm just weighted down with the memory of you. Fuck you at this point. I can say fuck you. I mean, for real. I can say fuck you, forgive you, and move on with my life at the same time. That doesn't mean
Yeah.
I'm harboring anything. That just means you're not worthy of my friendship,
Not
and
allowing
that's
you to
okay.
And that's
control.
right.
Right.
That's perfectly fine.
Everybody does not deserve your
But
friendship.
right, but
Even
just
after
listen,
relationship,
Here's the
period.
thing. Here's the thing.
I don't
Here's
give a
the thing,
fuck.
people. You can forgive somebody and it not and they not be a part of your everyday world. You
They
don't
ain't gotta
have
be
to
a part of your world, period.
Right. You don't have to be friends. That's not the purpose.
And that was my whole thing.
Right. But what I said was, if you're holding on to ill will, that is holding on to you.
But just
If you're
because you
holding-
don't choose to be friends doesn't mean
just
you're
like-
holding on to ill will.
So
That's
so
what I'm
just-
saying, though.
Okay, so here's my thing.
If I choose not to be your friend after you fucked me over, does that mean I'm holding on to ill will, or I'm seeing you as you
No,
are?
I'm
seeing you as you are and functioning with you based on who you presented yourself to be.
Right, and that's
I'm not gonna
fine.
be a fool twice. That doesn't mean I don't forgive.
Right.
That means my eyes are now open.
Right.
So we can't just call
However-
it forgiveness or unforgiveness. Wisdom
however-
has to come in there. At some point.
However,
However,
if you not dealing with this person and every time this person's name come up, you talking shit.
that's
or you
the
feeling-
difference. We established that.
Right.
Now, if every time this
right.
person's name is mentioned, your whole everything is just thrown off.
Right.
That's the difference.
Right.
That's not what I'm talking about.
Right. So yeah, because that's what you
We're
keep
talking,
going back to.
No, that's not what I'm going
yeah,
back to.
because you like if I don't
keep going
want
back.
because you keep saying if I don't want to fuck with you, I don't have to. Fuck
I don't
with you.
have
forget-
to.
And right, you don't. Right.
And
you
that
don't.
doesn't mean
So-
I have ill will. That just means
So
you're
that's-
somebody I
right.
have realized that was
Okay.
only for a season.
Okay,
And
so-
you're not part of the next phase of my life, and it's okay for me
Right.
to decide that
Right.
without having ill will.
Right. So I said, but
And
if
that
you-
doesn't mean I don't forgive you.
Right.
That just means you're not part of the
Listen,
next phase of my life.
You're not listening.
No,
I
you're
said
not
no.
listening.
I said, but if you have ill will, and you keep saying, "Who said I had ill will?"
Nobody
I
has
didn't
ill
say.
will.
Right.
mean,
I didn't say you had ill
let's
will.
remove ill will.
Right. No, if you can't remove it.
No.
I said
no. As
what
far
I said
as
was
friends and
Right.
lovers,
Even-
lovers to
even with-
friends.
even with
let's
lovers and
remove
friends.
ill will and forgiveness, because let's say we forgave, we don't have ill will.
Right.
I
And so
can
that's
forgive
fine.
you, not have ill will with you, and never fuck with you again.
right.
And that's
okay.
okay.
Right. I
That's
agree.
all I'm saying.
Right, and so
but
I-
everybody, well, it's okay to be friends. Yeah,
No.
but not with every fucking body though.
Right. So this personal.
Everybody ain't privileged
So this
to be in
here,
that space.
here.
with us,
This
you know what I'm saying?
personal. This got to be personal.
No, it's not personal.
It's got to be personal.
It's not.
Cause every time you say it, and I say you're right. However, if you hold ill will,
But
then you
there's
like,
no-
but who has ill will?
But
I didn't say
I'm
you
just
had
saying,
ill
but
will.
that's why I said let's
just
remove ill
no,
will.
No. I'm saying for
Let's
anybody.
remove the ill
What
will.
I guess she's just
No,
trying
no,
to say
no. I'm saying
let's
for
have the conversation
anybody.
considering we insert ill will.
Right, for
Okay,
anybody,
ill will.
not
me
you.
necessarily.
Let's
Because
have,
I don't.
let's
I
have
don't-
the conversation
like I
considering that
said,
there
right,
is ill
for
will.
Like I said, it's only one
anybody.
person in this whole world that I've not forgiven in my life, and it has
Right.
nothing to do with a bitch.
Right, I know.
Believe that.
Right, I know that. I know.
Nothing to do with a bitch.
Right,
so
I
please
know.
don't ever mistake me for not ever forgiving a bitch for wronging me.
Right.
Because a bitch gonna
Well,
be a
I
bitch.
already know that situation.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
There's only one person in my life that I
Right.
struggle with forgiving.
Right.
So this has nothing to do with fucking friends, lovers, or
Right,
nothing.
right.
So it ain't
Right.
personal.
So we
Let's-
know that.
Let's
no,
put
no,
that
no,
on
no,
the
no.
table.
But the way you're approaching it, like
I'm
oh,
approaching
well,
it from the
people said that you
perspective-
could just be friends. I said,
No, I'm
I
reading
said-
comments. I'm reading comments. I'm responding to a particular person in these comments.
Right. So I said it was personal.
It's not personal. I'm responding to a particular comment.
Okay.
Where somebody said it's okay to be friends, but you don't have to be friends with everybody you break up with.
Right, you don't
And that's
have to
okay.
be, but if it's not, but if you, but if the relationship wasn't, or if the breakup wasn't something that I feel like I don't, was
That's
dissolved.
why it depends, which
Right.
has been my premise from jump.
Right, I agree.
Yeah.
I
And
agree.
so we actually agree.
Right, I agree 100%. I feel like if you are in a relationship and that relationship is dissolved and y'all done had some type of shit, and I just choose not to fuck with you, I don't have to fuck with you, but I forgive you,
Right.
Because I gotta move on.
So why would you choose not to fuck with that person again, based on your experience and wisdom, right?
Simply
Yes.
because,
And that's all I've been
yeah,
saying. This whole
simply
40 minutes.
because I know that who you are, you've shown me who you
Exactly.
are, and I'm okay with that because whatever you did is for you,
Yep.
right? And so I'm over that.
And you can do
right?
that over there.
And you can do that over there,
Right.
If I see you on the street, you know what I'm saying.
So
what
at
up,
the end
though?
of the day, we agree.
Right. I've been saying that from the beginning, though.
Yeah, we agree.
Yeah, I agree.
But
I
just don't think unforgiveness or forgiveness. Once we start talking about the forgiveness, that's where it seemed like we disagree. We didn't disagree in terms of, okay, you can't be friends, or some people don't deserve your friendship, or you don't have to be. We didn't disagree on that.
Right.
We just agreed on the principle of forgiveness and whether or not forgiveness or unforgiveness is what will allow me not to deal with you again. It doesn't have to be unforgiveness that prevents me from fucking
Or
with
not
you. It
even-
could just be experience and wisdom.
Right.
That was the only distinction
well,
that I
not
was making.
well, right. You can move on, and you cannot deal with a person, and you can still forgive the person. It's when you feel some type of way about the person every time they come up, or whenever you see them, you haven't fully forgiven them, right? Yeah, I can forgive you, and I can keep it moving, and you can do your thing, and I ain't, and you ain't. Every
but if
time
I
I
hear
see
your name, I'm
yeah,
not disrupted in my
right.
whole spirit.
Exactly.
I get that. I get that. I get that.
Exactly. That's the whole point.
But that's one thing. But the other thing is, and I fully agree with that. The other thing is, I can forgive you, and I cannot have any ill will towards you. But I can also set a very clear boundary
Absolutely.
that you should never invade my personal space ever again.
Absolutely.
And that's on everything.
Absolutely.
And that should be respected.
Absolutely.
But, and not should not be mistaken as unforgiveness.
Right, but how can it be? It can't be mistaken for
This is
unforgiveness.
where we disagree because what you're saying is
No, I'm saying
unforgiveness
how
is
can it be
ill will.
mistaken? I'm saying how can it
But
be
me
mistaken
setting a
for
boundary is not
unforgiveness?
unforgiveness. It's me
Right,
setting a
I
boundary.
agree. I said how can it be mistaken for unforgiveness if there's
Because
no intent behind?
people interpret people's actions differently. Me understanding why I'm setting the boundary doesn't mean you understand why I'm
But
setting
they ain't
the
gotta
boundary.
understand.
Exactly.
Right. They don't have to understand.
it can
It's
be
you setting the boundary.
misperceived
It's
as
you.
such.
That's their thing.
And
that's what they
all
gotta
I'm
work
saying.
on.
That's all
Yeah,
I'm
that's
saying.
what they gotta work on.
That's another
something.
person's perception of what you're
Yeah.
doing, even though you have a full understanding of why you're doing it.
Yeah, and that's
understand
something
what
that
I'm saying?
they have to work on. They have to work on themselves with that, right? So it don't have nothing to do with you as long as you know what it is, right? As long as you know that I moved on, I'm over it. There's nothing that
Left
could be
to
said or
talk
done.
about.
Yeah,
What do we
there's
need to
nothing because
communicate about?
right, exactly. There's nothing
You
else
move on,
to make.
I'll move on,
Right.
and we'll keep it that way. If we see value in friendship after that, after a period of time, if necessary, then so be it.
Yeah.
But we're not gonna turn off an on and off switch. Like
Right.
today we friends or today we lovers and tomorrow let's
Right,
you're
well, of
just
course
friends.
not.
But see, some people really expect that to happen.
Well, that can't. Here's the thing, though. That can't happen.
It can't happen.
Right,
Not if those
because
feelings were truly authentic.
right, because if you just
And it
turn it
doesn't
on, I
mean
want to be
that-
friends, I want to be together, I want to be friends, I'm confused, I want to be friends, I want to be together, I want to be friends. No, you have to give yourself that time to. You gotta be apart. Give yourself time to heal from that romantic relationship
And
because that's
do
confused.
something with them emotions.
Do something with them emotions, right?
Then you
and
come
then
back
come
and see
revisit.
if there's any value in the friendship.
right.
Not
exactly.
like, okay, well, tomorrow, hey, what's up? No,
Right.
not tomorrow.
Right.
Not tomorrow.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And that don't mean anything other than time needs to take place.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Time definitely needs to take place in between a relationship and a friendship. Okay, so here's the thing. If it was never a relationship and if it was just like a situationship to where, we trying to figure it out and I'm feeling you and you feeling me and then one day I'm just not feeling you, then okay, I think that we could try to be friends. You know what I'm saying? Like if it's a
some people-
situationship.
Yeah, some people.
Yeah.
Especially if you. Okay, so if we ain't never
If it end
established
on a
no
bad
real
note.
shit.
If it didn't end on a bad
You know what I'm
note
saying? It
type
don't-
shit,
and all
I mean,
things
like,
don't
if it
have
doesn't-
to, you know what I'm saying?
If it's a
Situationship.
if it's not a real relationship, if it's a situationship
Well,
where we trying to
situationships
figure
can
it
end
out.
on a bad
Situationship
note.
can end on a bad
Yeah,
note.
it
Then they
can.
can also involve very heavy emotions without titles.
Yeah, that's true too.
So you
Which
can't just
could
call it a
induce- which
situationship
could
and
be the
minimize the intensity of it. Because the situationship can get real intense without a title or position.
yeah, it can.
And so that still has to be resolved and dissolved.
I'm saying if it's only been a couple of weeks or a couple of months,
But
and
you
we
can't
just trying
even
to
say
boom, boom,
that
boom.
because people move at different paces in
Yeah,
terms
that's
of
true.
their
I
emotions.
guess.
You know what I'm
Again,
saying?
there I
You got
go.
motherfuckers meet
There I
motherfuckers
go,
today
being
and they
careless.
in love tomorrow.
Yeah, that's
you know
true.
What I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
And
true.
so, who says it has to take 6, 7, 8, 9 months to a year for a person to feel deeply for someone else
Yeah.
and without a title?
I gotta get a hold of that. How you fall in love in 2 weeks and shit? I want to fall in love in 2 weeks.
Don't do that. Don't.
Okay,
It's
fine.
dumb
No,
as
you don't
fuck.
want
Well, here's the thing. I'm married.
You married, but
Yeah,
y'all
I'm
didn't fall in
10.
love in 2 weeks.
No, we didn't. No, we did not. No, but we were heavily liking each other a lot. Like
Yeah.
in the beginning, we were liking each other a lot. But I'm not gonna say, just being in love. It take people mistake lust and love. Being in love and lust. They mistake it, especially when you put sex in the mix. You know what I'm saying? I think for us, because it took us a minute before we actually did, see each other face to face to even be able to be sexual. We were really working on the friendship really strong first. And so,
But that's important. A lot of people don't establish that friendship base first. They start
Yeah.
fucking off bail.
yeah.
And then the friendship it developed and is based on.
Yeah.
Or
Or
the
you-
root of it is the intimacy.
Yeah,
You understand what
exactly.
I'm saying?
And you don't
then
even
you
really
build
know the
on that.
person,
You
right?
understand what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah. You getting to know the person after the intimacy, and then you you starting
Don't
to see
let
things.
the intimacy be good. You're going to make the shit up. The other shit
Yeah,
happen. You know what I'm saying?
Right, exactly.
You're going to be like, oh, this shit good. We're going to have to work this shit on out. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's okay then. Yeah. Well, you know what? I can look past the fact that.
Shit. The truth of the matter is, people that really have deep feelings for each other that end up probably in relationships or friendships after the fact, when the lines can get blurred real easily. And unless you're a strong person and are not willing to cross those boundary lines, it's going to be very difficult to just be platonic in that situation, especially if the sex was good. Because y'all going to get around each other, y'all going to hang out at the movies, y'all going to go out and be friends.
Well, who hanging out at the movies
y'all gonna drink. I'm just saying, that what the fuck do friends do?
So
what, we just going to be pen pals?
No,
we gonna be pen pals?
Boundaries.
But most friends get together and do shit, right?
Yeah,
they get together, drink, and then your judgment gets clouded, and you end up fucking in the friendship.
Well, here's the thing. No, because friends serve different purposes in your world, in your life.
Did you hear the beginning of that? I'm talking about, did you hear the beginning of it? I'm not talking about just a general friendship. I'm talking about somebody you was fucking.
Yeah,
somebody you
I know. I don't
sexually
agree.
attracted to.
I don't.
That was really a big part of your involvement, right?
I don't agree.
Okay.
I don't agree. I'm friends with a few of my exes.
I'm gonna tell you like this: if I ever
not...
was with a motherfucker that I like literally enjoyed fucking her, and we decided we was gonna be friends, and we decided we was gonna hang out, 9 times out of 10 we gonna fuck.
Well, yeah, that's probably because you can't control your emotions.
I can control my emotions.
Right,
I don't want to because I enjoy that shit.
Right.
I can control it. I don't have to fuck. You know what I'm saying? But
so at
I
that point, she gonna back you up. Because listen, because even if the sex was good, I'm gonna bag you up because that ain't what we doing. I'm just saying. If it's a friendship,
she is not gonna back me up.
Right, because you've been aggressive.
I'm never aggressive.
Okay.
I don't even approach bitches.
So
you know what I'm saying?
So here's the thing. If you're friends with somebody who you were in a situation with and they've moved on and they're happy in their move on and you feel like, I'm trying to get that, they're gonna back you up because those are the boundaries. Here's why I say that. I've had some I done had some dog ass sex. I done had some dog ass. Listen, I probably can't get it like that no more, right? With my ex, who's my friend, right? And so I know that there was a time in our friendship that she probably was still kind of feeling me in that way, right? And I had to set up boundaries, right? Because I'm the motherfucker that's gonna be like, we straight, you know what I'm saying? I'm good, you know. Even though I know that we done had some bomb ass sex, you know what I'm saying? I didn't talk about it.
But you now committed to somebody else, so you did the right thing,
right? And so that's what I'm saying, right? So that's what I'm saying.
That's the right thing to do. Who the fuck? I mean, how many? Look around, bro.
Right. I'm just saying for me.
Like, if you look at the percentage of marriages, even I don't mean to cast an aspersion on marriages, but over 49% of marriages end in divorce. That to me, I don't give a fuck if you married or not. You know what I'm saying? Something's happening to where these marriages are demising.
Most marriages,
and a lot of times it's for financial and infidelity.
Yeah,
you understand what I'm saying? And so just because you married and just because you moved on and just because you look happy and act like you happy don't mean you are happy.
Right. So I'm saying that's where boundaries are set. You know what I'm saying? Because there has been times where my wife would be like,
we got angry faces from Elaine.
I think I know why. I said when she said something, but I ain't gonna
Let's read what she said.
Reiterate on what she said. I'm like, oh shit.
Why you hang up? But she just said angry. But so because there has been times where she like, I think you blind. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think you blind, and I tell her all the time, you can't control. All I can do is control me, right? I can only control me. I can't control somebody who may have had feelings, or you think they got feelings, or maybe they harboring feelings, or they, I can't control that. All I can do is set boundaries.
So if your spouse had a problem with you being friends with one of your ex-lovers, how would you handle that?
Well, I set boundaries, right?
Because but if she ever required or demanded that you not befriend someone, would you?
Well, I don't think that she would ever require me to, because that's for me. That's an invasion of my personal space, right? I have to be happy for me in order for us to even be anything, right? You got to be happy for you, and I got to be happy for me in order for us to be anything. So I don't. If I don't command that from you, then you can't command that from me. Even if you don't.
What's going on, caller? Who's this? Where you calling from? Even though I know who the hell this is.
Yeah, I had to call back.
No.
Shit.
Nah, I think I know the comment she gonna expound.
Shit. Thank you for asking my question, D-Mac. Even though you didn't word it exactly how I worded it. Nah, Miss DL, I'm just letting you know I'm on yellowpages.com looking for a good divorce attorney since you had the best sex you ever had.
With her ex.
Oh, shit.
Did she just say that?
Well, but here's the thing though. But hold on. You already know. We talk about it. So let's not get.
But it wasn't with that ex, and it wasn't that type of ex. So don't do that.
Well, I said but you don't know. You don't know that though. But we talk about it. You know, listen. You know that we are transparent about everything. So don't make it seem like So don't make it seem like we ain't talked about or we ain't had these conversations because we've had these conversations. I don't have to listen. Listen to here's the thing. Here's the thing. I don't have to disclose. If I'm telling you that I done did it this way, I don't have to say, well, who it's with. And what I said on this thing here, I said I done had some cold ass, bomb ass sex, right? Listen to what I'm saying. No, I didn't say the best. No, I didn't say the best sex. I said I done had No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I said I done had some bomb. I said I done had some bomb ass sex, which I have.
No, you said I had the best.
And listen.
What she said.
With my ex.
And listen.
That's what you said.
And listen, though. Right, and here's the thing too. We know that we've had a conversation where, and I'm not gonna disclose, who it was with or where it was or how it was or this or that. But you know that I feel like my best fucking sexual experience was before our marriage, right? That's not something that I've hidden from you, right?
No, but you ain't saying like that either.
Okay.
I'm
just saying because I don't want people to be like, oh, she be getting on here, she don't talk to her wife about stuff. No, we talk about it.
Talk about it, but
and you know that my very best sexual experience was before our marriage, right? Was before our relationship, right? I'm not saying that we don't get down. But you know that my very best sexual experience was before our relationship and before our marriage, right? Because I'm honest, right? No, I'm honest. It's not because listen here. You don't have to marry. You don't have to marry your best
sexual partner. You marry the best partner for your life partner.
Listen, I don't have to lie. What I don't do is lie, right? Because I don't have to, right? And if I done had a threesome or a foursome before her, and I ain't never had a threesome or a foursome, right? So she said, what I need to do is learn how to lie. But that ain't in me, right? That ain't in me. So if I done had this particular thing and it was for me the best that I've experienced and I haven't had that with my wife, then that's okay because our sex is what I want and what I need.
Okay.
How is that not okay? So we like a lie. So we like a lie.
No, we're not lying. Remember how I told you some things you need to fucking omit. You still ain't learned how to omit shit.
For
Do
what?
you want me to sit here?
For what?
It's just certain things you don't say. Even though I know the situation you're talking about, yes, I know the situation you're talking about.
Right, so why am I omitting it? Because my marriage is... Okay, go.
Like I said, I know the situation she's talking about, y'all. I'm just being funny when I say I'm looking for a divorce attorney. I'm being funny when I say that. I do know the situation that she's talking about. What I have told my wife on 1,000 times, women don't want to hear that bullshit coming from their spouse. Yes, that sexual experience that you had at that moment might have been the best because that might have been the first time you had that moment. I'll give you that. But you don't hear me talking about how a motherfucker got bitched over across the bitch. You don't hear a woman telling their spouse
listen here, but we done talked about it.
In that situation to be like, damn, what the fuck am I not doing right?
How?
Because as a woman,
Elaine,
as a woman, the first thing you're gonna do is like, well, damn, what the fuck did this bitch do that I ain't did yet?
Elaine, should I feel that way when we talk about yours?
We don't talk about that.
We've never talked about yours. So we've never talked about yours.
I have never fixed my mouth to tell you I had the best sexual experience with this person ever.
Yeah, you have.
No,
do you want me to talk about it right here? Huh? Do you want me to talk about it right here?
Who was it with? Cause I ain't never fixed my mouth.
So you ain't say that your situation, your experience with Sonny, was the best experience you had.
No, I didn't say that.
Really?
I said it was a different.
No, you said it was the best.
Experience.
You said it was the best.
You
did.
Girl,
you absolutely did. You absolutely did.
So Elaine, are you still friends with Sonny?
You absolutely
did.
Not.
And if the bitch walk past me, she could walk past me like I ain't never met her before. She could be a goddamn ghost. It wouldn't faze me or page me. But I forgive the hoe. But I forgive her if that's what y'all want to hear. I forgive the bitch. But I ain't never got to see the bitch a day out of my motherfucker.
She ain't forgave her. And she ain't forgave her either.
Oh, no, I forgive her. I absolutely do forgive her because it helped me change the person that I should be with my wife. Yes, I do forgive her. But that bitch can be a ghost. I ain't never got to speak the name, see the person ever physically in life again because the hurt that you inflicted on me already programmed my mind to say, for what? Why would I even, what do I need to be around you for?
Right, but you still haven't forgiven her if you feel all that, if you like, oh, the bitch.
No, I forgive her. I do. I learned my lesson too.
Right,
that's
you may have learned your lesson.
Putting your hand in the damn beehive.
Right, you may have learned a lesson. No, granted, you may have learned a lesson, but I still feel like you haven't 100% forgiven her simply because for reasons like on your birthday, right? On your birthday when we had that situation, that showed me right then and there that she hadn't been forgiven, and that's fine. It takes time, and sometimes it takes years to forgive.
To do with me.
Well, it did.
That had nothing to do with me.
Well, but it did because the whole thing, right? It didn't have anything to do with you. However, when she was brought up, it made you feel some type of way, and you was livid about it, right? And you went to saying whatever you were saying.
I was livid because the person that was there was in your face trying to do the same trying to do the same as that thing that she did with my ex. That's where I became livid.
I think we was talking about food.
I don't give a damn what you talking about. Get the fuck out of my wife's face. That's it. That's all. That's it. That's all. Bitch, you did it once. That's the same thing. Bitch, you did it once. Why the fuck I'm gonna let you do it again? Get the fuck out of my wife's face.
Yeah, but I think it was more than that. I feel like that was brought up, and that was
D-Mac, come on, let's roll this back. At my birthday, my birthday party, I celebrate my birthday at a bar, club, whatever you want to call it.
Okay.
A friend of ours brought a young lady to my gathering. Okay. Mm-hmm. This young lady was cheating with my ex when I was with her. Mm-hmm. Okay. I look over. This young lady and my wife are face to face at a two-top table talking.
Trigger.
What do you think I'm gonna think about that?
Trigger.
What? Just out of all honesty, what do you expect me to feel about that?
She talking to you?
Oh, she talking. Well, we gotta wind up, Elaine. But I think that would probably trigger some trauma. You know what I mean?
Okay, I was just making sure I wasn't.
Yeah, but
tripping.
I didn't know
was
who
just
the
making
young
sure.
lady was.
Right.
She came with a
It
friend
wasn't
of
on
ours.
you. She was
Right,
more
and
concerned
then
about
more
the
concerned with
behavior
the
of the
young
other
lady,
girl.
right? But I just feel like, you know, she was saying something about, you know, the food or the chef or something. And so I was drunk. We probably had some, you know,
You was
conversation.
drunk, and she don't speak to you no other time. She'll speak to you no other time. Don't message you on Facebook, Instagram. Why you in her face now? Have a
Yeah.
nice day. See you.
Well, you know,
Have a nice day.
another one of those sideline conversations where, you know, Elaine came through and bust down the door and boom, straight to the room. So
Kick down your door and smack your chick.
See, right. Kick down your door, smack your chick. We gotta go, y'all. So we're about to go with our final thought. Thank you so much, Profound E, for calling in, you know, and of course shaking the room up as usual. We appreciate you. Yeah, yep. Oh, I already know.
Bye.
Bye. See you later. All right. What's your final thought, Mac?
Well, my final thought is the same as my initial thought. That there are situations and circumstances where there is a possibility and feasibility for friendship after relationship. There are also, on the flip side of that coin, some situations that when it's done, it's done. And it doesn't mean that the person doesn't forgive you. It's just that you don't belong in that phase and space in their life beyond that moment. You were a person that was there for that season and for a reason. And as long as the person learned that reason, they can go ahead and move forward without you. I think that if a person decides that they no longer want to continue to deal with a person beyond relationship and it morph into friendship, it doesn't always have to be that they don't forgive. It just can be that they just don't have, or they have wisdom and understanding now and deal with you with boundaries or a barricade, one or the other.
Well, my final thought is simple. You know what I'm saying? I definitely believe that you can be friends after having a romantic relationship. And as well, sometimes it just depends on how the relationship ended, you know, and that's how you make your determination on whether or not, yeah, we can maintain a friendship, or, you know, maybe not. Maybe we're best, you know, severing ties completely. But I really don't see anything wrong with it. I don't feel like, you know, I feel like hormones outside of it, nobody's wanting to jump each other's bones because I see you and we were having an attraction before and I was sexually attracted to you and our sex was great at once upon a time, and even though I'm in a relationship, you know, I'm gonna fuck now, or, you know, like, no, like, you have to set boundaries. And so every friendship deserves boundaries, whether you were in a relationship in the past or just a friendship period, you know, they all deserve boundaries. And so, yeah, so that's my final. This is out, y'all. I'm about to get to this motherfucking house and get smacked upside the head a couple of times because, of course, Nika is always in the hot seat. Yeah, always in the hot seat.
See, that's the one thing I like about not being in a relationship. Like, I ain't got to answer to no motherfucking body.
Yeah.
I said the fuck I want to say. If it bothers you, it bothers you. We talk about it later.
Yep, and so, you know, on the flip side of that, I'm just glad that we do talk about everything, because this would have been one of those things where it shot me in the foot because I'm talking and she listening.
And
she ain't heard it before, right? So, even though she don't want me to speak it out and people viewing her or judging her,
on the
right? Exactly, because can't nobody pass no judgment on what we got. What we got is what we got, and it's gonna last forever. So it don't matter. On that note, I am out. Until next time. In between time, we are out of here.
Peace.
Warning. You are now tuned in to 7 Mile Radio. 7